got another book. This one's called Clarice Bean, That's Me, by Lauren Child.
This is me, Clarice Bean. I haven't got a watch, so I've drawn one on my arm in biro. I like peace and quiet, but I don't get much in my room. I'm always busy rushing about. My room is small, so I have to squash everything in. I like to have lots of things, just in case. I have this younger brother, Lionel Cricket. We have to share, so I have drawn a line down the middle. If he puts one toe over on my side, he is sorry. Lionel Cricket likes to hang upside down until he turns purple. And then he sort of wriggles around like a maggot. Sometimes I say, I haven't got time for your nonsense. And he says, twit. And I say, twit and a half. And he says, twit with carrots in your ears. And then I flick his nose with my ruler. And he says, Mum, in this really whiny brother way. And Mum says,
no flicking noses with rulers.
And I say, what do you flick noses with then?
And she says,
celery. And I say, well, we've run out. And she says,
no flicking noses then.
My sister Marcy has a room of her own, and she has peace and quiet whenever she fancies. Marcy likes to wear makeup and read about boys. When I have time on my hands, I peep round the door and try to make her notice me. Marcy, she says,
go away.
And I say, why?
Because I don't want to talk to you.
Why?
Because you are very irritating.
Why?
Because you are a little brat.
Why?
You better get out of my room before I count to 10.
And I don't need to ask why. My older brother Kurt is usually in his room with his door shut. He doesn't talk much, but he wears t-shirts with writing on them. They say,
shut up and go away.
Mum says,
he's at that difficult age.
Dad says,
he should try being 44.
Mum says,
it's not easy being a teenager.
Dad says,
it's no picnic being the father of one, and it would help if he would stop grunting.
Mum says,
he's in the dark tunnel of adolescence.
But usually he's in his room. Kurt says,
no one understands me.
Kurt says he wants to be left alone. Lucky for him, he has a room all to himself, and it smells of socks. It's all right for Dad. When he wants to be left alone, he goes to work. He has a smart marbly office, and it's wall-to-wall windows and office equipment. He has a swivelling chair and a desk the size of a bed. It's full of important business, and you can only get to talk to him when Ms. Eglinton buzzes you through. When Dad wants some peace and quiet, Ms. Eglinton says,
I'm afraid he's in a meeting.
i.e. buzz off. Really, he's eating Tutti Frutti ice cream and listening to Frank Sinatra on the stereo. Grandad spends all his time having peace and quiet. He is most often asleep in a chair with a cat on his head. My brother Mindel and I like to jump on him and snip his moustache with Mum's nail scissors. Sometimes Grandad and me play snap. Grandad's eyesight is on the blink, so normally I win. He says,
is that a jack of hearts?
And I say, no, it's a 3 of spades, Grandad. Yesterday he poured a carton of soup on his cornflakes. He said,
I think this milk's off. It looks a bit lumpy.
I said, it's pea soup, Grandad. When Mum wants some peace and quiet, she balances on one leg in the bedroom and listens to whales singing in the bath. Sometimes she has candles round the edge that smell. Other times she plays one of her Learn a Foreign Language in a Fortnight tapes. She's doing Mandarin at the moment. So far, she can say, I've spilt custard on my cardigan and there's a spider hiding in my hotel room. She likes speaking in foreign languages. It makes her feel like she is on holiday. Sometimes she'll say, Jeg dotrat atja Alemania, which means I've had it up here with a lot of you in Danish. Sometimes I say, Mum, do you ever get bored? And she says,
the chance would be a fine thing.
When I get a bee in my bonnet and Mum needs some peace and quiet, she says,
come and run about in the garden.
This usually does the trick. Sometimes I chuck potatoes over next door's wall. Because I might want want to be an acrobat, I have to keep nimble and flexible. I do this by scrunching into the laundry basket. Getting out is the tricky bit. I do balancing and smiling in tights. That's a very important part of acrobatics. There's no peace and quiet in the garden because there's this boy who lives next door. He likes to call over the wall. He says, "What are you doing? Can I play? I know you can hear me." Grandad calls him Shouting Boy, but I call him Robert Granger. He always wants to know what I'm up to, and he always wants to do what I'm doing, which is normally twirling until I fall over. Robert Granger doesn't have any ideas of his own except copying me. So I go indoors and do handstands quietly on my side of the room. Then Meinl starts playing football on my bed. He says he does it accidentally. I say, more like accidentally on purpose. I get cross. So I accidentally chuck his duvet out of the window. It lands on next door's dog and Dad gets in a row with the neighbours. Dad says, "Right now, you are not the flavour of the month, young lady." Meinl is grinning like a pleased twit, so I tip a bowl of spaghetti hoops on his head.